But I'll never forget this. I mean, my boss at the time, like I said, he was the president of the company, he was a former Marine colonel, and I mean, he just started yelling and screaming and da 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 da. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, if I try to argue or fight with him or conflict with him, this is going to be bad. And I just sat there and listened to him. And finally, he literally ran out of upset. He was just, and by the time he did that, I just said, are you done griping yet, or do I need to still sit here and listen to you gripe? And you could tell he was getting ready to get mad. Then the next thing he did, he just started laughing. He goes, that's funny, and so it was just kind of, that's part of concealing. It's not always that you have to be combative. It's like, okay, hey, I can sit here and listen to you gripe. Now there have been times with the same boss, he'd start griping and yelling, and I'd finally get tired of it after about a minute and say, do you want to continue this, or do you want me to go fix the problem? Which one you want? I don't care. I will do whatever you want, how you want me to handle it. And usually, okay, go fix it. And then he'd shut up and want me to go do whatever. So I mean, and you don't think of that as concealment, but it is. Because basically now I've basically changed the complete tone of the conflict. And conflict does not have to be physical.
Right. Well, it's just understanding how someone operates. And you don't always have that luxury, but you also, I love it when people are like, well, on the street, and there's two guys who are going to come up to you at random, and they're going to mug you, and then there's the thing that's going to happen where you have to bust out your karate moves. It's not always what happens. It's your real, daily life you live. It's going into work and dealing with your jackhole boss. I don't know if that's a curse or not. The guy who's yelling at you, or like the jerk who is in the office next to you, or the client you don't want to deal with, or a student who's just throws a textbook on the floor because they're 9 years old, or like whatever. Like there's the things you will actually come into more conflict with are the things in your daily life, rather than like two mysterious thugs like popping out from, I don't know, the street corner.
Yeah, I mean, it's not to say you don't pay attention to that, but
right.
If you understand human nature and you understand how people are, it doesn't take long to figure out how a person is going to be. And some people say, oh, that's just, that's just hogwash and that's just crap and this, that, and the other thing. Well, you know what? Sometimes that's the best technique.
Yeah.
I'll never forget this. I had a guy at another place of work that I was at, and the guy was like, how would you get out of a chokehold? I'm like, look, I just want to do my job. I really don't want to. No, man, you got to show me something. And he was expecting me to do something. We're in an office environment, and if I actually did something to this guy, I've been fired like that. I'm sorry. My job was putting food on the table, taking care of my wife. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. So finally the guy just kind of irritated me, and I'm like, all right, fine. Here, I will show you something. And he puts me in this chokehold. He goes, go ahead, break it out. Let's do whatever you're going to do. And I come up, and everybody's heard of a flea bite.
Right.
Does everybody know what a flea bite is? Kind of like.
Does everyone know what a flea bite is? Everyone who is listening to this podcast. If you don't know, please respond. Email Jeremy. Link in the description.
I'm going to describe what it is in case you never heard of it. Basically, what it is usually when you're about in first, second, or third grade, and you're annoyed by some little girl, or the girl kind of has a little crush on you or something like that, they'll come up and they'll do a flea bite. And what they do is they take their two little fingers and they press them together and twist. And it's just a real nasty little pinch. Well, while he was doing this little substandard choke hold on me. I just do this little flea bite right here on his funny, right around his funny bone. And I mean, he just throws his arms up. I'm like, what? He goes, what did you do? I'm like, I did a flea bite on you. And he goes, well, that's not karate. I'm like, you're not choking me anymore now, are you? And he goes, no. I'm like, well, then it worked. Shut up. Let's go back to work. And that's the kind of stuff people don't think of. And